In the dark corners of Los Angeles, a chilling tale unfolded, a tale of terror and brutality. Angelo Buono and Kenneth Bianchi, known as the Hillside Stranglers, embarked on a spree of violence that would haunt the city for years to come. The Twisted Bond. In the sprawling metropolis of Los Angeles, two disturbed individuals found solace in their shared darkness. Angelo Buono, a cunning and manipulative man, crossed paths with Kenneth Bianchi, a troubled soul seeking validation. Their twisted minds connected, forming a bond built on their shared deviant desires. Buono, a middle-aged man with a sinister charm, recognized Bianchi's potential as a partner in crime. Together, they delved into a world of depravity, fueled by their shared fantasies and the thrill of dominance over others. They became inseparable, feeding off each other's twisted notions and pushing each other to new depths of sadism. Their twisted bond was further cemented as they hatched their plans to target vulnerable women. They meticulously selected their victims, often luring them with promises of employment or assistance. Their shared goal was to exert complete control, using fear and manipulation to subject their victims to unspeakable horrors. As their crimes escalated, the city of Los Angeles remained unaware of the darkness brewing in their midst. The twisted bond between Buono and Bianchi grew stronger, their shared secrets binding them together in a macabre dance of manipulation and violence. Little did the city know that the reign of terror was about to begin as Buono and Bianchi unleashed their sadistic desires upon unsuspecting victims. The twisted bond that united them fueled their insatiable hunger for power and control, driving them to commit heinous acts that would forever scar the city and its residents. Reign of Terror. The reign of terror orchestrated by Angelo Buono and Kenneth Bianchi began with calculated precision. Their twisted bond empowered them to unleash a wave of violence and fear upon the city of Los Angeles. With a methodical approach, they targeted vulnerable young women, preying on their vulnerabilities and exploiting their trust. Operating under the cover of night, they abducted their victims, subjecting them to unimaginable horrors within the confines of their twisted lair. Buono and Bianchi reveled in their sadistic acts, deriving sick pleasure from the suffering they inflicted upon their victims. They carefully orchestrated the murders, leaving behind a trail of evidence meant to taunt the authorities and instill terror in the hearts of the city's residents. The reign of terror escalated as the Hillside Stranglers grew bolder, taunting the police and the public with cryptic messages and clues. Their audacity knew no bounds as they played a cat and mouse game with the authorities, always staying one step ahead. The city of Los Angeles descended into a state of panic and paranoia as the body count continued to rise. The reign of terror reached its peak, leaving the community paralyzed with fear and anguish. The twisted bond between Buono and Bianchi fueled their insatiable thirst for control and dominance, and no one seemed safe from their malevolent grasp. Angelo Buono and Kenneth Bianchi, known as the Hillside Stranglers, committed a series of horrifying crimes in Los Angeles between October 1977 and February 1978. Their crimes included the abduction, torture, sexual assault, and murder of young women. The victims, ranging in age from 12 to 28, were targeted based on their vulnerability and were subjected to unimaginable suffering at the hands of Buono and Bianchi. The duo lured their victims with promises of employment or assistance, only to unleash their sadistic desires upon them. Buono and Bianchi would often pick up unsuspecting women, primarily sex workers and runaways, and transport them to Buono's residence, known as the torture chamber. There, the victims would endure unimaginable horrors, including sexual assault, strangulation, and suffocation. The bodies of the victims were then discarded in various locations, primarily in hillsides around Los Angeles. Their reign of terror continued for months, with Buono and Bianchi escalating their violence and brutality with each subsequent crime. Their depraved acts not only devastated the lives of the victims and their families, but also sent shockwaves throughout the city, creating a climate of fear and mistrust. The chilling details of their crimes, the manipulation and control exerted over their victims, and the cold-blooded nature of their acts make the crimes committed by the Hillside Stranglers some of the most infamous and horrific in criminal history. The gruesome unraveling. As the body count continued to rise and fear gripped the city, law enforcement agencies intensified their efforts to bring the Hillside Stranglers to justice. Detectives worked tirelessly, sifting through evidence, interviewing witnesses, and pursuing leads in their quest to stop the reign of terror. The hunt for justice became a race against time, with each new victim adding urgency to the investigation. Police departments collaborated, pooling their resources and sharing information to piece together the puzzle and identify the perpetrators. Forensic experts meticulously analyzed crime scenes, searching for any trace of evidence that could link the murders to Angelo Buono and Kenneth Bianchi. They relied on cutting-edge techniques and technology, using DNA analysis, ballistics, and behavioral profiling to build a profile of the killers. The evidence found in the crimes committed by Angelo Buono and Kenneth Bianchi, also known as the Hillside Stranglers, was both chilling and incriminating. Some of the key evidence discovered during the investigation included DNA. Forensic analysis of the crime scenes revealed traces of DNA that linked Buono and Bianchi to the victims. DNA samples collected from the victims' bodies, clothing, and other evidence provided a clear link to the perpetrators. Ligature marks. The victims were often found with ligature marks on their bodies, indicating that they had been bound and strangled. The patterns and characteristics of the ligature marks matched the methods employed by the Hillside Stranglers. Physical evidence. Items belonging to the victims, such as personal belongings and clothing, were discovered in the possession of Buono and Bianchi. These items served as compelling evidence connecting the perpetrators to the crimes. Witness testimonies. Survivors who managed to escape the clutches of the Hillside Stranglers provided crucial testimonies, describing the events and identifying Buono and Bianchi as the perpetrators. Their accounts played a significant role in corroborating the evidence and building a strong case against the killers. Surveillance and stakeouts. Law enforcement agencies conducted extensive surveillance and stakeouts, closely monitoring the activities of Buono and Bianchi. Through meticulous observation and gathering of evidence, they were able to establish patterns of behavior and link the suspects to the crimes. Confessions. Eventually, Kenneth Bianchi confessed to his involvement in the crimes and provided detailed information about their methods and motivations. His confession further supported the evidence gathered during the investigation. Meanwhile, the community became more vigilant, reporting suspicious activities and offering tips to assist the investigation. The media played a crucial role in spreading awareness and providing information, urging the public to remain vigilant and stay safe. The relentless efforts of law enforcement eventually paid off. A breakthrough came when a survivor managed to escape the clutches of the Hillside Stranglers and provide crucial information about their methods and identities. With this new information, detectives closed in on Buono and Bianchi, narrowing their focus and intensifying surveillance. They set up stakeouts, monitored their movements, and gathered additional evidence to strengthen their case. Ultimately, Angelo Buono and Kenneth Bianchi were found guilty of their crimes. They were held accountable for the lives they had taken and the immense suffering they had caused. The hunt for justice had come to a close, but the scars left by the Hillside Stranglers would forever remain, serving as a haunting reminder of the evil that can lurk within the human psyche.